diverse characteristics of learners, including the first one, learners' differences.
So in learners' differences, first is the gender. Recognizing the importance of treating students fairly and equally regardless of their gender and sexual orientation. So in gender, treating your students fairly and equally regardless of their gender, even they are girls or boys, we must treat them fairly and equally.
So the next one is the needs, strength, interest, and experiences. So, identifying individual needs, strength, and interest to cater to diverse learning styles. So, as a teacher, we must need to know the interests of our learners in order to give diverse learning styles. So the third one is linguistic, cultural, socio-economic, and religious backgrounds. So understanding how these factors impacts learners' behavior, interaction, and performance. So as a teacher, we must need to understand how the learners' behavior act in the classroom. So sometimes our learners have their problems in their home, so that their behavior is different to the classrooms.
Next is the difficult circumstances. So acknowledging the challenges faced by learners from indigenous groups, geographical isolation, chronic illness, displacement, or child abuse. So we must consider our students if they have challenges or difficult circumstances. For example, you have students that came from indigenous groups, so we must consider their culture or the way he or she behave in the classroom environment.
Next is teaching strategies. The first one is differentiated instruction. So we must need to adapt teaching methods to meet the needs of the diverse learners. So as a teacher, we must need to prepare a differentiated instruction in order to meet the needs of the different learners or diverse learners.
So the next one is the culturally responsive teaching. So in responsive teaching, incorporating students' culture into lesson to promote their inclusivity. So as a teacher, we can also incorporate the different cultures of the students. So we can ask them what is their culture, and we can incorporate their culture into activities. For example, in such games or different activities that the children can do.
So the next one is community involvement. So engaging with community to support indigenous learners. For example, in the classroom, if you have learners that belong to the IP community, you must need to feel them that they are belong, loved, and welcome regardless to their traditions, cultures, and beliefs.
So next is the flexible and understanding. Being sensitive to your learners, backgrounds, and experiences. So as a teacher, we must be able to know the different or the diverse backgrounds of our students, so that in that way we can able to know their backgrounds, and we can be sensitive to them and respect them about their cultures, their beliefs, and traditions, so that in that way we can feel the students what are their opinions also.
So there are 6 important takeaways. So the first one is embracing diversity enriches education and society.
So the next is teachers should learn about students' backgrounds, avoid stereotyping, and get to know each student.
The third one is creating an inclusive learning fosters student success.
And number 4, students from indigenous groups benefit from culturally relevant curricula and teaching methods.
So the next one is teachers can promote inclusivity by linking new concepts to students' life experiences.
And the last one is assessing students' diverse needs helps teacher develop target strategies. So by
By understanding and addressing these differences, teachers can create a supportive learning environment that values diversity and promotes student success.